Well, good morning, friend. It is Tuesday morning, August the 31st, last day of August. And I hope that you've had a good summertime getting around for Labor Day Tuesday. Had a good night out, following up on visitors that came to church. Got to meet with my convert that came to church on Sunday a little bit last night. He's doing good. Looking forward to coming back next Sunday. Always good to get your week started out. And I would encourage you this week. Now, I know it's a holiday weekend coming up, and a lot of people kind of let up on holiday weekends with their soul winning. Let's not be that way. Let's understand that people still go to hell during the holidays as well as they do any other time. And we as God's people need to always be on alert for the souls of mankind. I would encourage you to do that. Let me also encourage you, share the pastor's podcast, this podcast, with your friends on Facebook, on YouTube, and maybe if you're doing it through Anchor, you share this with others and say, hey, you need to listen, and try to get others to come out and try to listen on the daily basis as we try to encourage and help people as we go forward in the old paths, trying to reach people for Jesus Christ. I want to read to you this morning from Revelation chapter 7 and verse 15. The scripture says, therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. He that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. Every problem in life, my friend, can be solved. Many times we look to other avenues to resolve life's issues, but we miss the greatest place that can fulfill all of your lacks in life, and that is by dwelling at the feet of Jesus in prayer. The verse I just read to you reveals the sufficiency found in prayer for every believer. Take the time to get along with God in prayer. The throne of God has always symbolized prayer. It's amazing how prayer can change the wants and needs of the believer. Prayer does more to change you than anything else you can ever do. Moses spent 40 days and nights at the throne of God and did not realize how much he had changed when he came down from the mount where he prayed to God. But those who saw him knew there was a difference. You see, that glow that had come on him, they saw it. He didn't see it. The sufficiency that prayer provides in that it changes your wants, desires, and supplies every need that you have is tremendous. Now, let me show you 5 areas where prayer, it will be sufficient for all that you need. First, prayer supplies joy in service. The only reason a person has lost their enjoyment in serving God is because they've not spent time at the throne of God. The verse I read to you says, therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. When you spend much time at the throne of God, you'll find there will be no time limits to your service to God because of the joy that's found in serving God. If you find you're lacking joy while you serve God, increase your prayer time and the joy will return. Second, prayer supplies pleasure in God's presence. The verse continues to say, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. The only reason we cannot find God's presence in our life is because we're not spending time at his throne in prayer. If the only thing you get out of your prayer time is to be in the presence of God, then that, my friend, will supply all your need. You see, all our need today is God. I love singing that song, Christ is all I need. Christ is all I need. Oh, how we need Christ. Where do we find that need? We find it in prayer. Third, prayer supplies satisfaction in life. Verse 16 says, they shall hunger no more, neither thirst anymore. You see, you'll find that the more time you spend in prayer, the fewer desires that you will hunger for in life. God changes your desires when you spend time with him, because you find that God's presence is where satisfaction in life is filled. And the hunger that you initially thought you had will be filled with God when you spend time with him. Fourth, prayer supplies protection from the heat of life. Verse 16 continues, neither shall the sun light on them nor any heat. You see, God takes the brunt of life's hardships when you spend time with him, because he's your shelter in the time of storm. The heat may not stop from life's trials. Boy, my friend, God shelters you from the heat of the storm and helps you through every step that you take. But you find that shelter in the time of prayer. Oh, my heart breaks. People trying to find the shelter from the heat of life, and they run the social media, and they run the drugs, and they run the alcohol. My friend, that answer to the being sheltered from the storms you're facing, the storm of health and the storm of financial stress and the storm of wonder of what's going to happen in my future. Hey, that shelter is Jesus Christ. Where do you find that? In prayer. Fifth, prayer supplies joy in tears. Verse 17 says, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. I love the tenderness that this verse reveals about God, that God of this great universe would stop and wipe the tears from the eyes of the believer who comes to him in prayer. You see, my friend, the joy that the touch of God gives to your life when wiping the tears from your eye because of the trials is only found at the throne of prayer. I tell you right now, we wonder, where do we get that power of God? I think a lot of times it comes when the tears are rolling down our face. We get at the throne of God, and God just wipes those tears. And the touch of God on anyone's life will cause them to be used by God. Now, what is your need today, my friend? What is it you're lacking today? Can I tell you, the answer is always found in prayer. Failure today is a prayer failure. Let me encourage you to get alone with God today. Spend some time with your God and say, oh God, all I need is you. That's our greatest need today. My friend, remember today, be good to everybody. Everybody's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.